Communication equipment to include streaming services and other online meeting platforms. This meeting is being held through the Zoom meeting platform only, being broadcast from Borough Hall, 748 River Road, Fairhaven, New Jersey. Public participation for this special meeting of November 29th, 2023 is available by call-in, phone number, or through Zoom. Members of the public will be on mute until it is time for questions, comments, which will be announced. At that time, the public has the opportunity to question or comment by phone or through Zoom by the raise hand button and will be called on at the appropriate time. Notice of the meeting was sent to the Asbury Park Press, the Two River Times, and a Star Ledger on November 15th, 2023, posted on the Borough website, the bulletin board, and the municipal building, and has remained continuously posted as required under the statute. With adequate notice having been given, the Environmental Commission Secretary is directed to include this statement in the minutes of the meeting. We have to take roll call, right, Christy?
Yes. Did you want to do the pledge?
We can do, yeah, we can do that. Ready? I pledge of allegiance to the flag, the United States of
America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. So, do we do roll call?
Michael DiMichelli, absent. Kelly Flanagan,
Here.
Jesse Murray,
Here.
Brian Olson, absent. Gary Patterson, absent. Jonathan Peters, absent. Brian Rice,
Here.
Ralph Windrum. I see you, Ralph. All right, you have a quorum.
Thank you. So, the basis for this meeting is to go over the budget real quick for the remaining of 2023, of which we have approximately 3,500 left in our budget. I have one item to propose, which is the purchase of trees, 10 chestnut oak trees, 3, and that's at $34.99 per tree, so that's $349.90. 3 mulberry trees at $69.99 per tree, for a total of $209.97, and 2 Quakin aspen trees at $109.99 per tree, to give a total of $219.99, along with welded wire fencing, 4 foot high by 100 feet long, for $109, and another, I don't know why he has it twice, but he wants 2 rolls of welded wire 4 by 100, so they're $109 each. Subtotal would be $997.86. Shipping would be UPS ground $142.03, to give a grand total of $1,139.89. This is a proposal from Frontier Tree Company. And as we all know, Mark Olson is the contact for this project.
And none of those prices include tax, correct?
Correct.
No tax for the borough.
Correct. And they are, Frontier is a, I'm sorry.
That total in total was 1031.87.
No, $1,139.89.
Sorry about that.
And Frontier Tree Company is an approved vendor already. And it's my understanding that the trees will be delivered prior to the work party, which is Saturday. Is that the 3rd? Yeah. So it'll be this Saturday. So he would be part of the requirement is that the project be completed before, I believe it's the middle of December. So this would qualify.
Can you hear me?
Yes, Ralph.
We can't take receipt of any items until the purchase order goes through, so just FYI.
Right. So I have it.
This is what the commission is approving.
I have the proposal in hard copy. And I can bring it over to the borough in the morning if we approve it. Any questions or comments?
Remind me where these trees are going to be placed. Third,
The 3rd Street Trail.
yeah, okay, that's what I thought.
Yes.
How big are they?
They're actually they're small. So they're called bare root trees. They've already planted a bunch of them and they have taken. So they haven't, lost. I don't think they've lost any. That's
So
why
wait.
the price is pretty low.
Okay. No, it seems high for bear roots. Just thinking.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't price them out.
Okay. How much of our budget's left?
The exact number,
Approximately.
3,500.
Okay. Yeah, I have no issues with getting trees and getting something to protect them too. And this time of year, get it in the ground honestly is a good time of year to be planting stuff because it's dormant and it'll go over winter and it'll ease up when the spring comes. So
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? So do we have a motion to approve this budget item? Or should we go through the other items first?
Yeah, maybe the
Yeah.
others too.
What's that?
Yeah, I have some stuff too,
Yep.
just to add. Okay.
Yep, go ahead, Kelly.
So I did go to the Red Bank post office today and talked about the different options for mailing the recycling stickers. So I'd like to have that included in this budget. The cheapest and maybe the most cost effective would be to do every door direct mail, and that way they are we separate them by routes, and there are 7 routes. It would approximately cost about $440
Huh.
and 95 cents.
that's
So yeah, because
That's
what would
good.
happen is that they're like the direct mailing that you see those
Mm.
advertisements or whatever, direct mailing, and she said that way you just the 2,200, instead of printing 2,200 addresses and stamping them and everything that, which would be time consuming, you just have to kind of break them into groups of like 100, give them to the postal service, the mail carriers, and they will just put one in every residential and business household. So I'm looking, you can actually find the routes and how many totals are needed. So I have to set up an account for here and put it all together. But my question is, Chrissy, how does it get paid for? Like through when we do direct mailing through the USPS? Because I have to do this and pay for it.
You have to set up an
I'm
account
sorry,
online.
yeah, so you set up an account online and then you pay for it all online, you bring it there and they take care of it. But is it something that I can pay and then you guys can reimburse me? I know that's frowned upon, but it has been done in the past. And I just wonder, or do we have an account for, using the USPS? Like, has this been done by other commissions? I have to imagine it's been done by the borough before, right? A direct mail? I don't
Yeah,
know.
like
How do
we
do
do
that?
recommend, like, with all the tax bills, that goes out of like, I think the West Long Branch Post Office for some reason, and the calendars, but I
Yes.
will talk to Nancy in the morning and get back to you on how that would work.
And I'll just add, hi everyone, it's Tracy. I know that Betty Ann does know something about this, so Christy will be able to get the information. And I'll just say, Kelly, I think it would be a lot cleaner to have the staff do it than for you to, go through the reimbursement rigmarole.
Mhm.
Okay.
Agreed.
But is this something that like I would have to bring the I would hate for the
And
staff.
that's watching YouTube
Okay.
that we don't like.
So I would have to bring the recycling stickers to the staff and they would have to do that, or would I, I'm happy to help divvy out the different stuff.
I thought you
Yeah,
had to do the office. I know, we can, I don't know, I honestly don't know, we haven't done that before, so.
Okay, Christy, I
we
can
talked
send
to
you
them.
everything she sent me and she kind of walked me through it and I'm happy to just email that to you and the link, and then go from there. I just want to make sure that this kind of gets included because this would be a wonderful thing to use our budget for and get these stickers out to the residents.
Like,
I
all
just don't
right,
want to miss them.
I'll call you in the morning, Kelly, and we could figure out, assuming the commission votes, accordingly, how the best way to do that.
Great.
So Kelly, what's the total cost?
That would be about $440 and 95 cents. That's just the estimate that I'm getting as I just clicked on Fairhaven and put all residential and business routes on there. So that
Okay.
was saying 2,227 mail pieces.
Okay, I'll be right there.
Plus the envelopes.
No, we don't need envelopes.
Oh, really? Oh,
We
wow.
don't need envelopes. So this would, at first she was saying, you're gonna need an envelope because if it goes in, it's kind of sticker, it might get stuck to something. But then she goes, you know what? It might be better just to do a direct mail drop. That's one of the things like the mail carriers have, and every time they go, they just put it right there. They carry it with them in the truck and then they just put it right there and then they give it to you. So there's
Like all the
nothing that it's
campaign
not gonna be,
materials.
I'm sorry?
So it's not sorted
They
or
could get
anything?
all the campaign materials.
Right.
Right, so it's
He'll
not
just have a
sorted.
whole bundle for each route, or she will have a whole bundle for each route, and at every house, she just drops it in there last minute.
Wow, that's great. Okay.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So the
It's
big-
usually what to do with like marketing service,
Mhm.
like marketing and, yeah. I think
Yeah,
like
they
real
usually do
estate
that
agents use
through-
that.
Yeah, they usually do that through a mail house. Okay, that's
Mhm.
great. It's a lot cheaper than when you and I were talking earlier today.
Yes, right, because you avoid the envelope
envelopes.
and the stickers that you'd have to
Right.
print every address on. Okay. So that, and then the other thing for budget wise, we talked about a tablecloth for the green
Mhm.
team for when we go to these events, with our logo on it, so we can set it up for, that would be beneficial, but I can't imagine that would be more than $100.
Right, but we have to get, all right, so we don't have I never got a hold of Johnny.
And I also don't know, Christy, maybe you can perhaps, what we use, is there a vendor that we use for like these imprint marketing, these for imprinting like a tablecloth or a banner or something like that?
We can ask EJ, because I know he's done that kind of stuff before. What about the company you use for the stickers? Although, if you have a design, I guess you also have to pay for the design.
I mean, it could. We could do that. I could look into that.
And I
We'll get a
can,
price.
We just
yeah,
need everything by no later than Monday, the quotes and.
No later than Monday. Yeah.
and it has to be an approved vendor.
the stickers were these,
Yeah.
like these stickers, right? These stickers you're talking about, Christy?
Yeah, I know that was like a marketing firm. Shade Tree used another company to, that was looking in Red Bank to do this door hanger project. They might do stuff like that.
Okay, also, what's the one in Long Branch or Monmouth Beach that we used before? Henderson? No, I'll have to find, I know that they are
Henderson
also.
promos. I feel like I get
Yeah,
emails.
Henderson Promos, right?
No, that's the
That
one in
sounds right.
Fairhaven. Kelly.
Oh,
I think
hi,
Henderson's the
Michael.
one in Fairhaven.
No,
Sorry,
I,
guys,
I
it was a little
believe
bit-
Henderson's in Atlantic Highlands, but I don't.
But isn't is that the one who?
All right.
Sorry. Anyway.
Okay, I'll use some of those vendors and
Henderson did the Shade Tree door hangers. I know that.
Henderson Promos, okay.
I think she, Kelly, I think she lives in Fairhaven because I think she's connected to Grassi.
Okay. All right, so I'll do that and I'll check the one that we use for the recycling, for the tablecloth. Okay. And does it have to be ordered or price quoted directly to you? Like what
It
is?
can't
what
be
do you mean
ordered without having a purchase order, so.
I know that, yeah, I know that, but I mean, like, am I trying to get a price quote back to you, or am I trying to get like an invoice and like set up the thing, you
A
know,
quote.
as is?
A quote.
A quote. Okay. Okay.
Do we have a definitive quote from the post office? Or do we need that, Christy? I
No,
believe
and
we
that's
do.
the problem. You have to set up an account online. So I got the approximate quote just from going as far as I went, which was 440, but that's why I'm gonna send this over to Christy. And hopefully her and Nancy can chat tomorrow about it and get that.
All right, so how do we vote? So we have one definitive quote for the trees. We have an approximate quote for the mailing. Can we vote on that? I know we can vote on the quote that, you know, I have from Frontier. How do we vote on the mailing?
Vote separately at any rate.
Yes, but how are we gonna phrase it for an amount?
I think, and we can collaborate on this, but I think if you, just as Ralph has guided, you know, vote separately, and you can have conditional language in a motion. If someone makes a motion to authorize to go ahead with the mailing, as Kelly's explained, you know, it could be conditioned on Betty Ann chasing a quote in time for it to meet the purchase order deadline.
You could say like a not to exceed amount.
Yeah, that's what I was
Yeah,
thinking.
That's also a good idea. Yeah.
Right, we have plenty of money, so.
Yeah.
If we're gonna say, let's round it up to 500, right? It's still
Mhm.
within our budget that we have left.
That's a good
Okay,
idea.
so do I have a motion to, pass the Frontier Tree Company order to order the trees?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Michael?
Aye.
Okay, so we can move forward with that. How about for the mailing of the stickers under the condition that it doesn't exceed the remaining budget that we have left over, which I don't foresee that happening? Is that a good enough condition, Tracy, at this point?
I think that's reasonable. It's a matter of timing at this point, but as long as you've authorized the amount, I think that's fine. Christy, do you agree?
I think so. I think it should be, are we gonna separate the tablecloth / apron from the mailing, or?
Yes.
Or do you want to allocate, you know, a not to exceed amount for the green team items in total?
I don't have a problem either way.
I think both are fine too. to do it that way if you want.
I think
Yeah.
that-
So green team not to exceed 600? Is that what
Whatever
we're saying?
amount you think, whatever amount. you
Whatever
think
amount
you
we have left over.
Yeah,
So-
yeah, if you're
Yeah,
trying
so
to,
what is the, so after the trees, right? And let's just say, let's call it 500 for the mailing. What are we at, Christy?
Roughly like 1,200, 1,100.
so that should be plenty to get the tablecloth too.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Or 12.
And And yeah, and the mailing, if that, if there's, if that going over too.
Now, there's no way, I know, I wonder, every time coming around Love Where You Live Day, we always scramble because we don't have enough money to print stuff. And I wonder if perhaps we take advantage of this money and this opportunity to do some of these printing of larger informational posters and other things that we use when we bring to these different, I'm just trying to see like how we can kind of plan ahead so that it's not just out of pocket expense or the budget hasn't been passed yet and we can't, like how we can eliminate being in.
Let me
that
help
predicament.
out here a little bit because I appreciate what you're saying. As the budget is being worked on, and that happens in those first few, really more than a few months, the beginning of the year, which is of course also when you need to do your planning for Love Where You Live Day. The council adopts temporary budgets during that time. So Love Where You Live Day is now a known event. We have known costs. We have, we're not dealing with a first time project or initiative. And I think it'll be a lot easier since as long as the costs aren't higher than what we've done in the past, and I don't believe they would be, we can allocate to cover Love Where You Live Day based on what it's cost in the past. And it can be moved over to the temporary budget in those first few months as we are deliberating on the final budget. In
Okay.
other
So are you
words,
saying that's a separate budget, Tracy? Or that's the same and we just have to we just allocate a little bit now?
we're
You're saying
unable
it's part
to
of-
allocate.
Go ahead.
Sorry, say again, Michael.
Sorry, just, you can just answer that. You'll probably answer it. Keep going.
So we're not allowed, we cannot make any allocations now. And so I think that, if I'm in Kelly's shoes, I understand she's trying to say, well, the funds are there, let's get this stuff done. So we're not trying to figure out how to pay for it in March, or February. And what I'm saying is, unlike years in the past, we now know what Love Where You Live Day costs.
Yep.
And and when we're considering the budget, unless for some reason council cuts Love Where You Live Day, which I don't see happening, it's such a lovely little event and it doesn't cost that much money. So I think functionally we'll just transfer those funds as we do ongoingly at every council meeting. There's a temporary budget adopted every, in chunks until we get to the point where we can adopt a final budget. So people can continue to do what you need to do.
So, sorry, just to clarify, this would not necessarily be coming out of the Environmental Commission temporary budget or just the whole temporary budget of the council?
Yeah, the whole borough budget is not adopted until like almost the middle of the year. It's really, you'll learn more about this. It's very cumbersome.
Oh, I knew it's the middle of the year, but I guess I'm just confused about.
It'll go against our budget.
It will go against our
Correct.
budget.
Yes.
Correct.
But if we're saying what we're spending all of it now, then what I'm not understanding is how we know the money that'll be left.
There is no money left at the end of the
Nothing
year.
is left.
So
Right.
yeah,
Brian's right.
so for next year we won't have the money for Love Where You Live Day. I guess I'm confused about that.
Well,
Right.
Sorry.
we're
You can do
spending
a
a lot
tempor-
more of our budget now on the 3rd Street Trail. We're finding other larger things to cover our budget because we were not able to utilize it for Love Where You Live Day. Therefore, we have the whole entire budget left. And so that's why we're
Yeah.
trying to find out, right? So next year, we probably won't have, this
Okay.
time next year, we probably won't have nearly as large a budget.
No, we will, we should.
Because we
I mean,
will
that
have-
Oh,
shouldn't be a problem,
leftover,
but that-
leftover,
No, that's correct.
right.
We
Because
should be able to plan
will-
out
we'll have
through the
used
year
some of it for,
to, we should be able to plan out through the year of what you need for the green team, what we need for, what we all need for the EC, and plan it better to be able to spend the budget throughout the year rather than, doing what we're doing now. You have a better idea of the budget for your, for the green
Mhm.
team events. We have some projects that we all want to do for the EC. So we have to come up with that, but that's another conversation for the
but
new
we
year.
don't have to decide that now. So that's
No,
good.
that's
We don't
that's
have
for
to-
next year.
Okay.
Yeah,
Correct.
maybe not at this meeting, but I hope that that has been on your mind so that the commission, as part of your annual report, your 2024 look ahead, you're also contemplating a budget request so that
Right.
that can get incorporated into the draft budget sooner than later.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have did we agree on we're just gonna whatever is as long as this is copacetic, whatever is left over, then you got to get some definitive quotes to the borough right away and get the POs for the mailing, tablecloth, and what else was it? That was it, right?
There's always was a possibility too about reusable bags, right? This has come up before when we've talked about, I know in the past we've had green team sponsor, like design your own reusable bags. Do we want to have any reusable totes like EC or green team or something that, and I don't know, whether we
It's
sell
too,
them or
I
give
believe
them
it's too late to do that now because we'd have to have them
out.
completed
You have to have
over the
them.
next week or two.
So I have to have the tablecloth in the next week or two too.
Correct.
Okay. Not just.
Yeah, it has to be
ordered, in
closed
process.
out in the next couple of weeks. What's the exact date, Christy?
I need the quotes by Monday. And then work with finance to get a requisition over to the company, and then you, assuming all this happens, and then the company, once they get the purchase requisition, can start making your product, whatever you decide it be. And then they would get paid, and they have to get paid before year end, so.
Okay, so it is I thought it was some arbitrary date.
Like, you need to be able to receive like the product so that we can then pay for them before the next bill list, which is what the meeting's at 17th.
Yeah, it's tied to the council meeting.
Okay.
Yeah, Wednesday, December 13th.
Wednesday,
Like,
Yeah, that's
again-
right. I thought it was the middle of the month. Okay.
Wednesday, December 13th is when we need all these products or like the tablecloth and et cetera, right?
It has to be a completed purchase, correct?
Completed purchase. Okay,
And if it's a project, it has to be completed by that date.
got it. Okay,
Because then those vendors will get paid in 2023.
does
Yeah.
anybody else have any other additional ideas or wants or means for the budget? Like, is it just I'm asking about a tablecloth or, and the mailings, obviously, I've already sent Christy an email with that link. So hopefully we'll find that information out the next day or two.
I don't have anything else. No.
Can you make a motion on that second part, someone? For our record?
Motion for the green team items
Yep.
combined. I mean, I'll make a motion for both of those items, like, like we were saying, not to exceed whatever's left after the tree purchase.
I second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right.
Okay.
Without anything else to add, the meeting's adjourned. A motion to adjourn.
Great.
Sounds good. Night,
Okay.
guys.
All right. Thank
Night,
you, everybody.
Okay.
Good
Have a good night.
Night.
Bye night.
I know.
night.